All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. We are at Cards and Culture on the Purple Couch, and I have a very special guest with me. Thank you, Cade Beloso. Appreciate you, my man.
Appreciate you.
Cade is a repeat offender on the show. He's been here before. May of 2021, I think, was your junior year of baseball. So Cade is a now former LSU baseball player. That's crazy to think about and say. But most recent national champion. So thank you for the time. I know you got a million things going on. You could be a million places, but you're here with us at Cards and Culture. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I mean, anytime you come on a show like you and talk to a guy like you, man, you drop everything else, whatever you're doing.
Shut up. You're the man, bro. This is awesome. And like I was saying before we flipped on the cameras, I'm really excited / a little jealous, because that's the thing that I'm most jealous about you guys is that you guys have cameras, that you guys have phones. You are going to save all these memories.
Right.
I was talking to Jay Mitch and Mikey, and we were like, all we have are memories. We can just tell stories and stuff like that. And that's why I'm excited about this podcast, because this will live on forever.
Yeah.
My kids will see it. Your kids will see it. No matter what you do in life, all that stuff. Right. It'll always be fun to look back on this and capture this moment and remember where we were at and what we were doing and all that shit. So congratulations again. But talk to me a little bit about what it's like, man. What are you experiencing right now? You got to be on top of the world, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it happened a week ago today, so I mean, kind of had a little time for to set in and reflect on it. I mean, it's so unbelievable, and it was really setting in. Me and Antoine were the planners were playing golf the other day, and we were just talking about everything. Yeah. And, he's a baseball guy too, so I mean, there's a lot of things that have to go right to win a national championship. Obviously, I mean, 8 teams, that boils down to it coming in Omaha, and man, a lot of things got to go your way. And I think a lot of things went our way. And just the adversity we faced all year, expectations, all the stuff you can talk about. But it just came down to, having fun every day and, playing baseball. So I think that's what we did best.
100%. You guys were fun to watch. And, I mean, from the jump, you guys, like you said, the expectations, that to me is what is the most impressive thing. You guys were number one with the hype, all the shit that comes with it. And then you guys did it. So it was like, and it does. It mirrors a lot of the 09 that, when we were fortunate enough to win and stuff, we were preseason number one. And we didn't have the hype that you guys had, though, I don't think. So I was like,
I just think it's the media nowadays. I mean, if y'all would have had the same media like back in the day, I mean, it would have been hyped up too, no doubt.
But I do think you guys had some extra eyes with Dylan, going into the season, a lot of the transfers with Tommy and just the name. But you're right, the media hypes it up. But, we had Coleman returning, but there was a lot of like, Jay Mitch has to have a good year this year. It's his draft year. It was like, and then a lot of things fell in line. And I was a big question mark. I had 13 innings the year before, and then I turned out to, have a great year and all that stuff.
Be a dog.
So, that was fun. Did all right. But had some punchies. But, dude, how about Skeens this year?
You can't say enough great things about him, bro. And the type of player he is speaks for itself. He broke Ben McDonald's record, but I mean, just the leader and the person he is. I mean, that's one thing that I'm going to remember forever. Obviously, he's one of the best pitchers I've ever seen, but just the way he makes everybody feel on the team, and he's a big goofball. He's like a 6'8" goofball. Yeah. That's what I'm going to remember forever about him.
I love that. And I've heard that about him, right? He would go around and say shit to people like, dude, that's what it's about.
Dude, so it's funny, bro. I was literally joking with ESPN about him. And I'm like, because Paul messes with me all the time. Yeah. And I'm like, so I was going to get him back. So I was like, he goes around telling everybody how much harder he works than them. And dude, they broadcasted it, and like people are talking to him like, dude, this guy's a douche. Like, and he's like, he came up to me. We were practicing at Omaha, Nebraska. He's like, dude, everybody thinks I'm a tool because of you. So I got him back. It was funny.
That is hilarious. And I'm going to say that's so funny because I was in Jersey for the championship game, the last game. I'm sitting with 2 dudes that I grew up with and I reconnected with. And one of them was telling me, he's like, bro, that Skeens dude, he's such a douche, huh? He was like, and I was like, what? I was like, no, he's the man. What are you talking about? He's like, no. He's like, the broadcast the other day was saying that he goes around the clubhouse saying he outworks you. He outworks you. He pulled up the clip and everything. And I'm like, ooh, that doesn't show him in a great light. Yeah. I was like, I don't think he.
I told ESPN I was joking about it after, and they they ran with it. So I'm like, whatever.
But incredible.
Paul loved it. He thought it was the funniest thing ever. Obviously, he doesn't care what anyone thinks of him.
Exactly. But I think that makes me so much happier just hearing that story. Like, that's incredible. And it shows you, like, the media, you don't know shit. Like, we don't know shit. You just, like, that's one person in a restaurant, but now that's everybody's, or, like, some people's view of it. That's incredible. And it's way more testament to Skeens just to hear that he's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, man, everybody thinks I'm a douche.
He doesn't care. He literally only cares about people in the locker room, family, people in the academy, and coaches, bro. Everybody else, like fans, it is what it is with him.
Yep. I can kind of see that when it was like, I'm trying to remember. We had him on the podcast, what, Joe? Like, you think 4 or 5 weeks in, something like that?
It was right after the Texas series.
Right after the Texas series. Okay, so he was still, but I could just tell how locked in he was. He was like, I don't even go on Instagram. I usually just like, I'm like, good for you. Like, just amazing. You can turn that noise off and just be so focused and everything. And I've heard just everything like you just said. Just behind closed doors, he's everything that you want him to be. Leader, funny, but knows how to balance it.
Yeah,
you can just
that's the hardest thing to balance is like on game day, he has to be super locked in. I mean, it's different for a position player because you're you're playing every day. It's hard to physically lock in all day, every day. But pitcher, I mean, especially Paul, he's getting the ball once a week. So he's dialed in that day. But, I mean, the next day, he's the team's biggest hype man. Like, he's talking crap, chirping the other team. And it's so funny, bro. Like, that's why I love that he can balance both. Like, he's not he's not locked in all the time, but – yeah, I
think you need that though. That's what we talk about. Each team and good championship teams have that balance. They have that leadership. They have the fun. They have the go out, the guys that go out. They got the guys that stay home. You know what I'm saying? Like they got enough dogs, but they got enough people that'll keep everything in line too. So that's awesome, man. Let me ask you this. So I feel like one of the things I say to people about winning the national championship, it was like when we were down, we just kind of knew. We were like, all right, who's going to be the one? Did you guys have anything like that where you were like, I don't know?
100%. Like, I mean, no matter what, if we were losing the game early or late, there was no doubt in my mind ever, besides that Florida game, that I'd be like, all right, we're probably going to lose this game and move on to tomorrow.
Chalk this one up.
Yeah, I mean, this one's probably going to be a loss. But, I mean, other than that, like, I can't think of a time that I thought, man, we're out of this game or we're not going to win this game. And, it's just the calm coolness that our team had. And it really starts from the top. Like, Jay doesn't really freak out. Or Coach Jay, sorry. Coach Jay doesn't really freak out about anything. And, I mean, it trickles on down. It's a trickle effect.
His leadership style, I said that all year. I'm like, man, it's pretty impressive what those coaches do with you guys because you can just see it. That I said this. I spoke at the first pitch banquet, 2 years ago.
Awesome, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Jay didn't give me a lot to work with, though. I'm like, Jay, give me something. Like, have a conversation with me, bro.
Dude, he's all business, bro.
He is. He was like, you guys got to come watch the games. I'm like, they know, Jay. They're going to be there. I'm like, give me something. Tell me about Cade. Tell me about Skeens. Like, give me something,
It's all business, bro.
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess Skeens wasn't there that year. Yeah. Whatever. All right. So, what was I saying? Shit. What was I saying right before that?
Y'all were talking about Coach Johnson and his leadership.
Oh, yeah. But I just was saying that I love Jay's leadership and kind of the way that he brought that. Oh, what I was saying about the first pitch banquet. I kind of knew the way that the coaches had leadership. I was sitting at one of the coaches and I didn't know him. I just met him. I forget which coach it was, but I just saw how every player came up and like they all had handshakes with him. You guys were massaging his shoulders. I'm like, yo, how are they this cool already? Like, this is awesome. And it was just genuine. Every player was fucking with the coaches, and I'm like, but there was enough respect where like he could say something and they'd be like, yeah, like, okay, sorry, too far, like type shit. Where I'm like, all right, this is fun to watch and everything. So I don't think it was any surprise that even with all that power, star power, all that stuff, you guys.
So I think it just it comes down to obviously we spend a lot of time together. I mean, you're at the field all day, every day, and I mean, it's just the respect thing that you have. You see how hard the coaches are working, and obviously that you're working that hard in return. But they run it, especially like our program, like a pro-style organization where, we're like Coach Jay and the coaches are higher up than us, but we can have conversations man to man. It's not like you need to like choose somebody out or call them a bitch or anything like that or. So we're able to have that. I think that's where that joking and stuff comes in. It's like you're basically your buddy, but at the same time, when you could tell he's getting serious, you're like, all right, like he means this. Strap it on. He means this in a good way, and let's go now. But there is times to joke around and stuff like that, like at the banquet. And
no, I love that. That's amazing to me. So last year was Jay's first year, opening day.
Yeah.
Injury.
Yeah.
Out the whole year. Talk to me what it's about, what it's like coming back from injury, then getting all the, the transfers in.
Right.
Where you're playing and fitting in that mix, probably in the air, that kind of stuff. Talk to me about that mindset and then how it came out and played out for you this year.
Okay. I mean, obviously that was one of the worst things that happened to me at that point and had a lot of stuff off the field too. And I was just like, one thing's piling on top of another and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm having a tough time and, coming back from that injury just showed me a lot about myself. I'm a strong person. And, I don't let anything hold me down for too long. But, I mean, it really just relied on people around me, relied on God, my brother, Caroline, coaches, teammates, the list trickles on. But I mean, my thought process I wasn't going to let myself feel bad about it. I was going to try to do something in a way positive for the team. So I literally I went to Coach Jay as soon as it happened and gave me like a week off to be emotional about it. And he's like, all right. And then after that, we're going to talk man to man, and we're going to figure this out. So, all right. Like, he tells you that, you listen.
Yep.
He's like, you're not ending your career. And he's starting to tell me about next year. I mean, obviously I'm out this year. Not happening.
Right.
So he's telling me about the pieces for next year and what he's got planned, stuff like that. And obviously I want to win a national championship. So I'm like, yeah, like we're doing this.
Man,
so we do that. And then, just basically stay with the team. You know, I was going to be the best teammate possible. And I think that helped out our team a lot, not only last year, but this year too, just because we have so many good players and only 9 play, you know. So, I mean, everybody else, we have people on our, like, not say bench, people that weren't starting in the championship game that are going to play in the big leagues, you know, in a couple years.
It's
like,
wild.
It's unbelievable. Yep. So everybody's got to, you know, put their ego aside or put their, you know, personality aside and buy into the team. And I think that's what helps out, is just having good leaders, good player leaders like that. And, you know, once Coach Jay saw that this year, like, we had player-led meetings all the time and every week literally. And once he saw that, he realized he didn't have to do as much. So he kind of just literally watched it all unfold. That's what he says all the time. Like,
really?
if you ask him, like,
I love that.
Yeah, like, he didn't blow us up, but one time this year, and we needed it. It was right after the SEC tournament. We had a team meeting where you know, he got after us a little bit, but it was everything he said was spot on. You know,
love that.
So he didn't have to do much this year.
Just watching him unfold. That's testament to him too. Like, for real, just like I sat back and watched it unfold, and he knew his players too. I love that.
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously he coaches us. He's one of the best of all time at coaching and developing. But in terms of, you know, making sure we were locked in, you know, he knew that obviously we had an older team too. I mean, everybody was pretty much a junior, senior, 5th year.
Exactly. He knew what he had.
Yeah,
and he knew how to
exactly.
and he knew how to manage it. And that's why I was like, that's what coaching is, and what good coaching, I guess, the difference between good coaching.
Yeah. Like, he didn't have to do too much, like, in terms of, like, getting us – no, you didn't have to get Dylan Cruz ready to play baseball or Trey Morgan, Gavin Dugas, Paul Skeens.
No, yeah, I love that. Yeah, and that's I love what you said about the injury too, man. Like, learning and having faith, and that's what I dealt with a lot of injuries in my career and stuff. So I always appreciate when people come back from those injuries and they have good success and things like that. And especially, I've known you now for 3 or 4 years now, and you're a good person. You come from a good family. You want that kind of success for people. So tipping my cap to you and everything, and your support system. Hopefully they're listening to this podcast and everything
they will,
too.
for sure.
Yeah, your family is unbelievable. Love your pops. He's the man too. I did want to talk about that. He, you know, I've now crossed paths with him a bunch over the years, coming back to games, and he's always made me feel like family as a former player, you know, at tailgates and things like that. Talk to me about what your pops means to you, how influential he was, because I mean, I can see it just by the way he carries himself and how proud he is of you too.
Yeah, I mean, he loves LSU baseball too, and, you know, I mean, I'm sure it's as cool for me, you know, as it is for him and my mom and brother, you know, just getting to experience this too, because, I mean, everybody around me and my family grew up LSU fans, so I mean, I can't have. Yeah, I can't repay what all my family has done for me, but I will try.
Giving them a World Series championship, I mean, that's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start. But I mean, just I wouldn't be here without them and you know, all their support and stuff like that. So
your pops is the man. It was when he was grilling that gator, they kept showing him on ESPN. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like,
and then he felt bad about it after he texted me. He's like, "Damn, I grilled a gator and we got beat by 20." I told him, I was like, "Yeah, don't do that anymore."
It was all right. You guys came back and dick boxed him the next day. It was good. And held up the ring, championship. It was awesome. Yeah, that was so fun.
That was one of the craziest things ever, too. And I guess I had a lot of adrenaline going when I held up the trophy for the first time. I'm like, damn, this thing's pretty light. And then on the celebration on Wednesday, I got a picture with it. And I'm like, dude, this is heavy, bro. That thing is thick.
You were
held down. I was like, ooh.
And you said when you lifted it up, though, it was light. You were just
I couldn't feel my body, and we were all in the pictures.
I got chills, bro, right now.
Like, thank you.
Yeah, dude, that's so awesome, bro. Like, I love that for you
I've
guys.
rewatched the game probably 3 times on YouTube and stuff like that, and just because you forget so much about games, it just like a lot gets lost in translation, and I mean, just watching everybody contribute. It's not, and that's one thing that I think our team was kind of built on, but it's not like it's the same guy doing it every day. And we have a saying at the program, it's not, we don't care who gets the job done as long as it gets done. You know, you're not going to see one person, you know, in desperation to get the job done, or if they don't get it done, it's like a look at me type thing. It's just like you're happy for whoever got it done. You know, like if you look back at the World Series, I mean, Joe Bear had a great first game, and, you know, game 2 was tough for everybody, and we didn't really have a great offensive game. And, I mean, game 3, you know, I hit a homer to put us ahead. Game 4, Tommy literally won the game with Skeens. that's your herd, and then it just trickles on. Like, I mean, there's different people showing up. Dugas, it was great. All World Series. Trey Morgan was phenomenal. Him and Milazzo in the Wake Forest game. Like, I mean, it's just Dylan was Dylan all year. He shows up every game.
Yeah. Literally gets on base every game.
Yeah.
Like
it's one of the craziest seasons I've ever seen. But yeah, it's different people getting the job done every game.
That's what happens when you win a national championship. Like that list that you just rattled off. Dude, I'm like going in and out.
I see the chills.
Bro.
I
like,
love it.
Reliving these memories because
I mean, I've watched y'all's game multiple times, probably at least 30 times that whole series on YouTube.
Dude, I'm telling you, and we did the same thing for the '97 team. When we were there, it was like this tradition. That's why I have the chills right now. It's fun to sit here and relive those moments, those memories, that kind of stuff. I remember standing on the field too, putting the hat on the jersey, the t-shirts. To me, my favorite thing was the lap around the field. And so I'm going to tell you a funny story. I don't know if I told you this, but DJ LeMahieu and I, we were in the dugout together. We ran out together. We were planning it. We were like, where do we want to be in the dog pile? Like all this stuff, right? And then we did our lap together. We were roommates. Him and I played baseball, like travel ball together, on those showcase teams and all that shit. So we came in together and we've been talking about winning a championship, going to Omaha. Yeah. We both we're really close to going to Clemson, and we were like, fuck that. This is the Tigers, like LSU, all this shit. So
I'm sure Coach Mayer was ecstatic about that.
I think so. I think they're more Terry Rooney. Do you know that name?
I know that name.
Shout out Terry Rooney. He's the one that made me come to LSU.
Nice.
Like it was awesome. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it was the greatest thing ever. I tell him all the time when I see him that. But DJ and I were walking around the stadium, and he's from Michigan. Grew up a Packers fan, like all that shit. And so we get to left field, and that's where all the fans were, like all the college kids. And I was like, dude, we got to do a Lambeau leap. Like we got a Lambeau leap into the crowd. He was like, you want to? I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we do.
So I go and we're high-fiving, right? And I'm like, hey, DJ and I are going to jump up. We're going to run to left field, scale the wall. You guys got to pick us up, and we're going to sit with y'all like Lambeau leap. They're like, fuck yeah, let's go. So we did it. We go to left field. We scale the wall. We sit up there. We were just like leaning back in the crowd and everything. It was awesome.
Sick, bro.
Yeah, like literally it probably would have been the awesomest pictures if people had phones and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it probably would have been so awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of had a moment like that too. I mean, obviously, the way the game was shaping out, we could think about what we were gonna do. We were dogpiling.
That's so fun.
I felt that it was right to go. Hug Dugas. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of like LeMahieu. We played travel ball together. He was my best friend for 5 years here and even before, and will be after. That I was like, man, I'm coming to find you. So I ran. Awesome. I don't know if there's a video. I don't care, but ran straight to second base, and him and Jordan, and I got caught by Tommy first, so I hugged Tommy. And we're both big dudes. We're both just crying. We're so happy.
God,
and then
I love it.
Me, him, Jordan, and Gavin all share a big hug, and then go get on the dog pile. And that's one thing I'll remember forever is just the look on everybody's faces. You couldn't take the smile off, and that's what. I mean, that's better than winning to me is seeing how happy everybody was.
Yep. Oh man, dude, I just want to sit here and just chill for a second. Like I'm like, this is crazy.
One cool thing too, man. I mean, I knew who you were and grew up watching you too, but I idolized Schimpf, just being a Louisiana dude. And I'm like, I'm left-handed. I kind of want to be like him. Just him reaching out after the game and that tweet that went viral. I was like, man, like people have no idea. Like they think it's just for social media, but like growing up, man, like that's who I wanted to be, and to finally be in the same category as y'all and get mentioned with you guys as champions, like that's one thing that will never get old to me. And just we're like a fraternity. I mean, obviously you play LSU, you're a fraternity of brothers, and you have that respect and that mutual bond. But it puts you on a new level when you're a champion, and I mean it's so cool. I can't put it into words.
You can't put it into words, and that's why. When that tweet went viral,
I literally started tearing up when I saw it.
I'm tearing up right now. Yeah. Like it's like people don't understand. Like it's an emotion, it's a feeling, it's real. And for me too, right? Like I didn't. So that's why I quote tweeted and said, "This is LSU baseball." Because
it really is.
To me, I grew up in Jersey, right? Mm-hmm. You grow up. I wanted to be the shortstop for the New York Yankees. That's what I wanted to be. The same way you wanted to be Ryan Schimpf, right? Yeah. So when I got to face Derek Jeter, that was my shit, right?
Whoa.
Like So, but I'm being dead serious. That was cool for me, but like it was not my backyard. It was not, you know what I'm saying? Right. It was like a little far-fetched. And so people don't understand. They're like, you live in Louisiana, you're from Jersey. I'm like, you don't get it. Like
it's different, bro.
Yeah. And like this feeling, this conversation, you just don't have. Like you don't get those. And the chance that I came down here for the chance to win a championship. Right. Did that. Like
And then now you're here. This is your home now.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And now I get to relive it almost with you guys, right? And now you guys are the next wave that are going to get to relive it for the next 15, 20, 40 years, right? Yeah. Like all these things. And it's like
growing up for me, like I never I mean, not that I didn't see myself as a major league player, but that wasn't my dream. Like, my dream wasn't to be the shortstop for the New York Yankees, like Jeter, or, you to be the shortstop. And my goal is to be here. And, like, to say that I accomplished my goal and, like, I did the ultimate honor in college baseball, I mean, it's just it gives me chills every time I talk about it. And
it was the biggest thing that drew me to LSU when I got here too, right? Being in the West Campus apartments and
grind,
really
bro.
grind.
The grind of WCS.
Yes, but like going over to the other like freshman dorms, right? And you're sitting there, you're bullshitting about high school stories because you're freshmen, right? Like all this bullshit. And hearing all these guys talking, they played on the same teams, they knew all the same dudes, and everything was like, he didn't get his offer to LSU, and like I was just like, man, that's cool. Like, fuck, I'm like, I didn't have any of that shit. Like, nobody's talking about Rutgers like this. Rutgers sucks. Like, sorry anybody that listens to Rutgers, and fuck you, Todd Frazier, but I'm not just kidding. But that's, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have that too much growing up. It was like I had a little bit of Frazier because he was like a big name guy, you know, that kind of stuff, and he was wound up playing together in the big leagues, which was awesome. But like, that's what I was so jealous of, and that's what LSU baseball is. And then when you were sitting on the field, I literally was watching that interview when you were talking about Shimp, and I'm like, this is incredible. Like, it's like so full circle. It's literally, you had a plan, you had a dream, you drew up a plan to execute that dream. Right. You accomplished the plan, and you're living the dream. Yeah. Like, that's fucking
So, like,
nuts.
one of my coolest moments, I mean, obviously, you know, winning that's going to be my highest moment at LSU, but a close number 2 is when Shimp was still playing. I was in college still, like freshman and sophomore, I can't remember. But he came in the cages in the offseason and hit. And he was like, hey, you want to come hit with me? And I was like, bro, what the
You don't
fuck?
even know. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I do. I really do.
Yeah, so we hang out all day and be best friends.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
go
like,
do
we
karate
can
in the
go
garage.
get food after this if you want to. But I mean, Nolan knew him. He's like, dude, he calls everybody Grinder. So I took that from him, and I started calling everybody Grinder and coach and stuff like that. And I mean, just hitting with him was literally one of the coolest things. And I mean, we weren't even in a game, no fans are cheering. It was just us two in the batting cages, just literally hitting balls off a tee. I was like, this is freaking sick.
That's so awesome, dude. Oh my God, I love hearing that. And it's just like Shimp's he's my, you know what I'm saying, my boy. And I'm just like, that's so funny to hear. And
another good story too would be with Jay Mitch. I was training to play outfield junior year. Coach Mary asked me to play outfield, so I'm like, all right, I don't know how to do this. I've never played outfield before. And Jerry was like, bro, I mean, I'll go out there and catch balls with you. So I'm like, all right, you were a dog.
Yeah.
Like, you know how to, you know how to play outfield. So, I mean, we would grind over Christmas break. I'm like, dude, like this, he like mid-taking pop flies. I'm like, this is sick. Like, you have no idea. He's like, whatever, man. This is, I mean, just normal.
This is just normal. That's so awesome. But I love hearing that stuff because it was like when I was here, when Ben McDonald came and talked to me, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Ben McDonald. This is who everybody told me I need to like look up to, and he's giving me advice. He's talking to me, right? Like, so it's cool to hear all that stuff and the respect that you guys have for the program, the legacies, the want to be in that. You know, it's. I think that's what we were so bought in on, and even a kid from New Jersey and a kid from Michigan, like DJ Micah Gibbs was from Texas. The best. Like, but we bought in because of Pontiff and McGee and Buzzy and all those guys, and they taught us about LSU baseball. And it's like, bro, where else would you want to go? Like, this is like, where else do you want to play?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine playing anywhere else in here. And, you know, people ask me all the time, they're like, oh, you didn't want to transfer. You know, I had 2 bad years back to back. I had a poor, like, season hitting wise, and then, like, blew up my knee and stuff like that. And they're like, you didn't ever think about transfer? I'm like, nah, man. Like, this was the only place for me. Like, I wasn't going to, you know, Ole Miss or anything else. I'm not saying I was going to go to Ole Miss. That's just the first place that came to my head.
So I'm just thinking, too, like, you hit a 3-run homer in the championship game. What is that? And you knew it pretty quick too.
Yeah.
What's that like? Like,
I mean, it would be the same equivalent to, I mean, you just carving a dude and just walking off the mound. I don't know, man. I got a lot of respect for that dude, Brandon Neely. He's a great pitcher. I mean, he was All-American, relief pitcher this year. And if you watch the first at bat I had against him, it was brutal. Like, he's throwing these high spin fastballs right by me. Yeah. I'm swinging and missing. I thought I had a hole in my bat. And first pitch of that bat, he did it again, and I step out. I'm like, damn, dude.
I'm not hitting this.
I'm like, fuck, dude. How am I gonna hit this? And I don't even want to look at Chief anytime I swing at a ball. You know, he looks at me. He's just like.
With that empty look.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Because that's my thing. You know, just my eyes are my best quality as a hitter, and I'm definitely not looking at Jay because he's going to do the same thing. So in my head, I'm like, I gotta hit this guy. You know, I gotta swing at a good pitch. And I finally pushed him down the zone and hit it. And man, I completely blacked out. Like I don't know. I usually don't bat flip. Yeah. that was cool. I don't know. I knew it was going off the bat.
Yeah.
I caught it pretty good. And
It was perfect. You did it great.
yeah, I'm
You
completely
deserved
blacked
that.
out. Couldn't feel my body around the bases.
That's what I was gonna ask. Are you floating around the bases during that
100%.
time? Like, yeah, and that's why when you say I've watched it 3 times on YouTube, it's for moments like that to be like, that's what I did. I don't even remember doing that, right?
Yeah.
I think so. I have a moment like that. Chris McGee is one of my best friends.
Cool dude.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Love Chris McGee. And we talk about this moment, but in the regional, I had a moment like that where I'm like, he was like, bro, did you know what you did? Like, you're so, I'm like, no, I had no idea. I had to go watch it and be like, oh, wow, yeah, that's right. I was like, I do remember doing that now, but it was like that moment, you know, like it's just, you're in the moment, you just do it, you react. I love that.
Yeah, he seemed to be so cool to be around too. And I mean, there's just guys that you're going to remember forever. Obviously, you know, that's one thing that I think we're talking about too is like, and I was mentioning this to, I forgot who, it was literally yesterday. I'm like, this is different because like all the other teams I've been on, like, yeah, we're close and, you know, they got guys that you'll talk to forever and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, the season didn't end the way you wanted to, but this one did. And like now we have like, not to say we wouldn't want to come back and hang out, but like we're going to have reunions. We're going to have like events to do as a team and together. So you get to come back and check on these guys, you know. Cruz is going to have 3 World Series rings in a fat pocket. We're going to come back and have a reunion, the Skeens, and, you know, me and Milazzo are going to have dad bods.
You guys will be drinking all the beer for everybody. That's good. Yeah.
We're going to probably have, like, you know, kids and stuff like that, these 10-year reunions.
Exactly.
And it's just going to be so cool to, like, see what everybody's doing and, you know, check up on their families and, you know, have that mutual bond forever, you know. I
said that in our group chat. I was like, boys, we want this team. This is the team we want.
Yeah.
These are the guys. We love them. We know them. They feel like little brothers. Like, I've always felt like you guys liked us too. You know what I'm saying? Like 100%. All that stuff. So I was like, dude, and I was like, Skeens and Cruz are gonna be rich as fuck. The parties are gonna be good. Like, they're gonna be good. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Like, so I was like, this is the team we need, winning championships and coming back here and everything.
It was funny, man, with Dylan. Just the whole postseason. I mean, obviously we're super tight. You know, being boys for 3 years, and I'm like, dude, like, you know, it's completely up to you if you want to keep playing with me, right? Like, and I would tell him that every day in the postseason. And we lost to Wake Forest. I'm like, all right, man. Like, it's your call. Like, I mean, do you want to keep playing with me or do you want to go play with these random dudes that you have no idea?
Just think about it.
Yeah, we would joke about it, and he was like, man, I want to keep playing with you. So.
Just bring me along. Just tell the Pirates, whoever, just like, hey, man, this is my guy. We need him. He'll be a fit. He'll be a good fit.
Did tell him,
he'll carry the boombox, whatever we need.
I did tell him, like, hey, man, you got to be a glue guy when you get to the league. Like, you know, the locker, you got to be that guy. And he was like, man, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. So playing with him for 3 years, what's the biggest thing you took away from him?
I mean, just the maturity he showed up with day one, and you know how he approaches every day, and it's just not just the game. I mean, he takes every day like it's so serious, and I think the coolest thing about Dylan is obviously you know how he knows how good he is, and you know he knows he's going to make a lot of money playing baseball, but for him the ability to be in the moment, no matter what it is, no matter if we're doing an RBI scrimmage or we're playing a fall game or we're playing the national championship, like he's locked in. He's not thinking about going 1-1 potentially in the draft in a couple of days. And I couldn't imagine, you know, the pressure that's on him every day. And you couldn't tell this year at all. He goes out and has his best year, and his first year he hit 360 with 20 homers. Like, you know, he just gets better and better every year. So I mean that the ability to be locked in every day is the thing that sticks out to me most about him. Obviously, he's a 5-tool player too.
Yeah. No, that's what I've said too. I'm like, it's so hard not to root for this kid. Like, I just love his family.
Family's the best, bro. I mean, his mom and dad are the 2 of the best people I've ever met.
Literally. I literally text George that all the time. I'm like, hey, dude, I just want to let you know, you guys raised a great kid. You guys are fucking awesome. That's all. That's all I want to say.
That's all I want to say.
That's it. Because he came on my podcast just down to earth. He's like, you want me to sign? I'm like, bro, you're just a good kid. Like, no, get out of here. Like, just go live your life. Like it just.
And like what they do for the community too. I mean, like they would invite special needs families to every single game. They would buy a bunch of tickets for them, and that just speaks to the family they are, bro. I mean,
they made a donation, like all that stuff, like everything.
Like George loves LSU, and I mean he's family here, and you know, I mean they're gonna be around. I know Dylan's gonna buy a house here in the off season, and
that's what I heard. Skeens said it's. I was texting Skeens yesterday a little bit too. He said he's getting a place here for the fall. I was like, the boys are gonna be back.
They're back.
Yeah, but you guys, I'm telling you, it was like a national championship tour. It was like, we had a week. So I basically had the whole summer off because I pitched 125 innings.
Yeah, you weren't pitching the rest of the summer.
I was like, I'm done. I went big chilled for 2 months, but it was like 10 days we all chilled here. Some guys got drafted, you know, and then they waited 3 or 4 days to go play pro ball and sign and all that shit. But it was like that fall when we came back, it was like J. Mitch coming back, you know, like Ochenko, all them, like they were all in pro ball for the first time. I was in my junior year of college, so I was still getting ready for that year and everything. But just like coming back that fall was so fun and just reliving it and stuff. So you guys are about to have the time of your lives, and like you guys
That's
deserve
what everybody
it.
says. Just take everything in that comes with it. And I mean, people all the time, or this week have been coming to me like, hey, like you don't mind to take a picture? I'm like, no, like of course, like I love stuff like that.
Is it,
yeah.
This is the moment, and too like. Again, I can have a business here because of it, so it'll last the rest of your life. But this moment in time, that's what we're even talking about with Cruz and everything. Like, just enjoy it. Like this, you guys are so lucky. Like, take every photo, sign every autograph.
Yeah,
like,
and I mean, I take
everything.
the time to do that. Like,
I know you do.
The security guards, but hey, like we can go right past them. I'm like, no, like these, especially at the celebration that night, they were like, we can get you right past these people. I'm like, no, they took their sweet time to come out here and celebrate us. Why would we not do the same thing in return to them? You know, I mean, I saw a tweet the other day about the attendance. I mean, we had 100,000 more fans at the games than any team in the country. Like, it's unbelievable per games this year.
Well, I mean, fuck your guys' celebration. It was a full game.
Yeah, it looked like a Super League.
Yeah, I was like, this
is
is crazy. This is like they're standing room only up here. Like, and it's 8,000 degrees.
It was so hot, bro.
I sweat through like 9 things. I was like,
it's not nice to bigger people, man. I mean, God,
it is not. It's like you walk to your car, you just start sweating immediately.
Dude, so that was a reality check coming in Omaha. I mean, Omaha the weather's perfect. 75, 80 with a breeze every day. Like, I'd walk around with a hoodie on. I'm like, this is sick. And then as soon as you step off the plane in Baton Rouge, you're like,
oh, I forgot.
You're like breathing through a paper bag again. It sucks.
Heavy air.
Yeah.
Tell me the story. I'll let you get out of here in a couple minutes. But there was a story, something about that's Bush, or that you said with an ESPN reporter. What was the story what it was? The name tag.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, we're trying to. I mean, obviously, none of us have ever been to the World Series, so I mean, we're taking everything we get, bro. I mean, we were trying to take chairs.
Bro, I still have a chair.
Yeah, Mongo's like, dude, do not take the chairs. We're buying them for everybody. Like, we will get fined. It's cheaper for us just to buy them.
Yeah.
We're pissed off at him. We can't take the chairs. I mean, we're trying to take everything with our names on it just because it's memories. And
100%.
I'm gonna put this in my man cave one day. And so I was getting interviewed. I don't remember what game it was. I was in the post game press conference and. I was like, can I have my name tag? And they're like, no. The NCAA was like, no, you can't have it. I'm like, all right, that's Bush. Whatever. I know you have 6 more of these with all of our names on it. But and then after we won, I was like, can I have this now? And they're like, yep. So I just picked it up and walked out. Thanks.
I'm taking this motherfucker.
Yeah. But the chairs are sick, bro. I mean, it's like super nice, like bullpen chairs with the logo and the whole 9 yards on it. I'm like, we're like, yeah, we want these. Like, we were going to go to the other locker room and take them too. Like, if Florida didn't take them, but we weren't allowed to go in there.
Yeah. I think I still have mine. I think I had like 3 of them. Like, this was little years ago, so I kept just grabbing everything that we could. It was like, so Micah, DJ, and I had a little like inside joke too. We won the SEC tournament. We won all 3 years that I was here. My freshman year, for some reason, they handed me this big circle SEC thing, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do with this. I'm just holding it in the picture. And Micah and DJ were like, "What the fuck were you doing?" And I was like, I don't know, man. So literally every championship that we won after that, we were like, we got to get a big sign and a poster. And so we had SEC. I had like 8 of them in my garage, at my house. Yeah, so it was like our thing. We won the national championship. We were just joking. We were like, grab everything.
Seriously, I mean, at the end of the day, like, people look at you like you're a different person, but we're all just big kids, like kids at heart, and like you want cool stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, we're taking everything we see. Like, we're clearing out everything.
My first house in Spring Lake or whatever here, my mom yelled at me. She was like, "You're not putting that on the wall." I'm like, "I'm putting it on the wall."
I'm doing
One of the things I grabbed was, so you know how like it was a huge ass nice canvas of the bracket and everything, and they would write the names and all that stuff, and so. After that, I pulled it off the wall and I rolled it up and I had it. I gave it to Ryan Letizo and I was like, "Bro, put this in the thing. This is mine." So I'm talking. It was like the size of this wall. It was enormous, and it was like the whole in my room. My mom's like, "This is so ugly. It's like beige," and I'm like, "I don't give a fuck." I'm like, "This is what I want in my house."
I don't really care, Mom. To be honest, I don't care.
But yeah, we were just grabbing everything.
I got like this big old flag after the game out. It just felt right to put it on my neck and just walk around with it. So I'm gonna hang up. I mean, it's probably from here to here. It's huge, bro. So I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'll take the flag.
Yeah, you're champion. That's what you work your ass off your whole life for. I love it. All right, so your wedding was originally on the championship day. There was a bunch of reports saying that you were getting married. That was scheduled for June, right? But it was in January.
It was going to be in January.
And so was this past January?
Yeah. And they're like, why would he schedule a wedding? Like, he must have knew he was not going to be in the national championship. I'm like, why? One, nobody in Louisiana wants to get married in the summer. It's too hot outside. Like, you don't want to do that. And no, it was supposed to be January, and then we moved it to November. And then I guess people started – I mean, not everybody watches baseball until the postseason anyway. You know, that's just how, you know, people go and fans work and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, like this is crazy that, you know, they would move it to the World Series. I'm like, I don't reply to anybody. I don't care. I don't really care.
So you didn't even acknowledge it, and people just ran with it.
Yeah,
and
they
made the
just.
story
I'm
up.
just
It was
like, it's so funny how word spreads and stuff
dude,
like
it's
that.
so funny, and it's like then it's like that's word. You know what I'm saying? That's one person heard it. They're gonna say it. Is gonna run with it.
And the story just magnifies.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You get it.
That's so great. All right, so when is the wedding? When you guys?
November 18th.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Official date, and we're not moving it again. Yeah, we're
This
set in
is it.
stone.
This is locked in. Good.
Yeah.
All right. So what's next on the agenda? What's are we playing pro ball? Are we waiting on the draft? How's that work
I don't
for you?
know, man. I guess see if pro ball's an option. If not, I guess I got to work and find a job.
I think you're gonna get.
Yeah, I've gotten probably 30 job offers since the national championship, and
Yeah, I think that's the least of your worries.
Yeah.
I think you'll have any job you want. I was more interested in the pro ball. So how's that working for you? Are teams talking to you? Or?
I haven't talked to any teams.
No?
I know a couple of teams have me submitted on their board or whatever.
Nice.
Like you have to
Awesome.
send
Yeah,
people
exactly,
on the card or whatever. So.
Man, that would just be icing on the cake, huh?
Yeah, that'd be cool. If not, then like totally at peace
good.
with my career here.
Yeah.
You know,
Either way, win-win.
Either way is a win-win for me.
love that.
Jay offered me a spot on staff to coach and stuff like that.
Let's
So,
go.
yeah, that'd be cool.
That's fucking awesome.
Marucci, Cryer's hitting me up and stuff like that.
You'll be getting recruited again anywhere you go. Yeah. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
good.
Just kind of, I'm definitely not in any rush for sure though. I've talked to a lot of people about working and like, bro, take your time.
Yeah,
like, do not rush into this.
You got your whole life,
Yeah.
everything. Yep. You got to live this up. Are you Baton Rouge? I'm assuming you're
Yeah,
gonna be making roots here and everything.
Yeah,
I love it.
Baton
Good.
Rouge or Alabama, so we'll see.
I love it. Good.
Yep.
Well, thank you again, man. I know you got everybody's pulling you everywhere, the media, I'm sure, and stuff like that. So thank you for taking the time. And I know,
Thank you,
like I
bro.
said, you could be doing anything in the world right now, and you're sitting on the purple couch with us. So
Dude, I mean, it's an honor. This couch is comfortable. First
It
of
is,
all,
right?
it's pretty sick.
I
Yeah.
feel good about it. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's been here for 2 years now, and we've been doing probably done 50, 70, 100 podcasts on it. More?
I like it.
That's
it's
awesome.
nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, dude.
Yeah,
This
thank
was
you, bro.
awesome. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to catching up again. And I hope you get a chance at Pro Bowl and you get to go play. But
sir.
yeah, keep living up the dream, man. And I'm looking forward to all the reunions in the future.
No doubt. You're the man.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.